Bang.
I ain't taking nothing but win.
What's up, everybody? MoneyE here, back with another edition of Unscripted Sports Show. Back here with my buddy Dizzle from the Wrestling Through the Years show. How are you, Dizzle?
Yes, it's great. Well, either works, and it's great to be here, Eric. Thanks for having me on. I'm excited to talk some sports with you. Of course.
Yeah, anytime. I'm glad you can come on. We'll talk some Final Four and whatever else we come up with. In the world of sports, there's some news in the NBA with the Jaden Ivory news. You heard about that, right?
Yeah.
We can talk about a little bit about that. It's kind of controversial, but
yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. The fights this past weekend were pretty damn good.
Yep, in the UFC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got that MVP card coming up too, which will be good on Netflix.
Oh yeah, and then the White House card.
Yeah, that's in June.
No, it's May. Hold on.
Is it May?
Yeah, because I think it's on his birthday. That's why it's on a Sunday. Let me see. Freedom 250. So.
Okay.
So we can talk a little bit. I'm looking it up right now. I don't know if the card is fully.
Well, I mean, regardless, it doesn't really. But
yeah.
I am looking forward to that one. I know a lot of people were shitting on the card, but I think it'll be some good fights, and I love to see my boy Pereira in there.
Yep, exactly, and he's defending. Yep, he's defending the. He's going for the heavyweight title. No, but
him and Gunn.
Interim. Okay.
Yeah.
It's for the heavyweight interim, and the winner gets to face Tom, who I don't think he's fought for a while. When was the last time he fought?
Who, Tom Aspinall? I think his eye's still fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know why he hasn't been stripped of the title if he hadn't fought like.
Well, he's not. Is he the undisputed champion still? Because I thought he got his eye poked out, and then he was. I know he was interim champion. Wasn't John Jones the last heavyweight champion?
Let me see. He might have been. Then they wanted that match, but John Jones.
Yeah, we know what happened with that. No, but I'm definitely excited to talk March Madness because my bracket is an absolute shambles.
Yeah, I know. Mine is too, especially after Duke lost. We'll get into that, and we can talk some UFC. So, whatever else you want to talk about. So let's get to it. What were your thoughts on the last weekend's games? I mean, most of them were kind of crapshoot, but
I was a big fan of Michigan versus Alabama. I got to watch that, and
that was a blowout.
Michigan beat the shit out of them. Alabama didn't have a shot.
Yeah, because Alabama.
I thought that might have been closer.
I think there was only 3 games that were close, 2 or 3 games that were close last week, especially last weekend. There was only one. We'll get to that one, but who did you have in the Final Four?
All right, so my Final Four,
my bracket,
which is crazy. Yeah, I mean, my Final Four was going to be Arizona, Houston.
Yep.
So Houston's out. I had Duke.
Yep.
I had Illinois, I think.
Oh, you did have Illinois.
Yeah, I had Illinois. So that was my
Oh
final.
wow, that was a good choice. Good choice on you. I'll bring up one of my.
Oh no, I
one of
didn't
my
have
brackets.
Illinois. I had my fault. I had Houston. I had Houston
Okay.
winning the whole thing, so I'm screwed. I had Houston.
Oh yeah, Houston winning the whole thing.
And so Houston, Duke, and check this out. I had fucking I had Akron because I used to root for them. I knew that was a bad pick, but I was like, "Fuck it, I'll put Akron in the Final Four." And yeah, that didn't work out.
Wow, you never know.
Yeah, sometimes you got to take shots.
Illinois would... Yeah, exactly. Who knew that Illinois would be in the final? I didn't. I certainly didn't. I'll bring up mine.
Akron played pretty damn good too.
They're Euro, so no, they're not team. They did. They're a good team. A lot of people were in that conference. There was only two teams that were good in that conference. Obviously, Miami, Ohio, who took the headlines all year, and then Akron. Because nobody really talked about Akron because of Miami, Ohio, and their undefeated season. So it was the Miami Akron show. I'll bring up my bracket right now. I did live.
Yeah, they didn't have a fucking shot. That was a bad decision. But yeah, and Houston was my winner pick, so I'm basically killed at that point.
So my final four were in this bracket. When the brackets were revealed. Oh no, I did it the day before. I did a show before this game started. So who was my final four? I had Duke. No, wait. Hold on. Where's the final four? Yeah, right here. I had UConn. No, I didn't get that right. I had UConn. Didn't Duke. I had Arizona.
Oh, you're doing better than me.
And
Michigan's your winner pick.
Then I had Michigan.
So your whole Final Four is still in it.
I think I had three of them in the final. I think I have three left. Because I have Michigan beating. Who do I have Michigan beating? I have Michigan beating. I think UConn.
Do you think Michigan's going to take it all?
UConn in the championship, which could happen. No, I think the winner of Arizona and Michigan is going to win the national championship. But if UConn gets in the national championship, they still have. I wouldn't be surprised they won it all. Because
that'd be crazy, yeah.
Because UConn has that pedigree of winning before last year they won 2 straight, so they have Dan Hurley is probably top 3 head coach in college basketball. So if I had to pick what it's gonna chances of winning, I think it's Arizona, Michigan, UConn, and Illinois. Watch Illinois win it since I'm giving them probably no shot at winning. How about you?
You don't think? Do I think UConn has a chance in winning?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. But I honestly I like Michigan. Michigan's been playing really fucking good. I like your winner pick. I think Michigan's a good winner pick.
Yeah.
Because I think they have a real shot. They're having a hell of a run here. So that would probably be my pick.
Yeah.
I like
that's going to be a good game in Arizona. So we'll get
I had a lot of faith in Houston. Houston let me down, man. That was crazy.
Yeah,
I needed them to do something.
I had Houston in my buddy's money pool, and I had Arizona versus 1, and then Florida versus Houston. I had Florida winning another one, and then I had Houston in the Final Four, Arizona winner. So as soon as Duke lost, my chances of even getting top 5, shit, because Duke lost. and everybody else had Arizona. A lot of people had Arizona and Duke. Um, teams that had Arizona winning, they had Arizona Duke in the championship. So I needed. I didn't have a chance to win because
Yeah,
I had me already in the standings.
fucking Duke. But no,
And then when Duke lost, I didn't have a chance because
yeah, it sucks when that one team just lets you down. But
yeah, I know, and that was Houston and Florida, and one of the Browns.
Yeah.
How far do you have Florida?
How far do I have Florida? I had Florida. What happened? Oh, I had Florida.
Oh, did I not have it?
I had them beating Iowa, and they didn't do it. They didn't even get to Iowa.
Yeah, Iowa really surprised me. Yeah, that was a good game. And then the guy hit me with 2 seconds left. There's been some good games, but there's been a lot of blowouts and a lot of games this season. A decent tournament.
Yeah, it's been pretty good.
I've enjoyed most of it, but once your bracket, like, when you have a pool and when your bracket done, it takes the fun out. So
I mean,
I
I
still
will
enjoyed the game. So
Florida and
especially
Iowa was
Duke.
a hell of a game, though. Florida and Iowa was a 1-point
Yeah,
game, and
it was.
That was a close game. But you're right. There has been a lot of fucking blowouts. There's been a lot of them that it's like it's over. Like
Especially
with 5
last weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last weekend when 3 of the 4 regional finals were, and the final one, UConn and Duke, when Duke blew a 19-point lead, and UConn came back and hit that shot with 0.4 seconds left. That was amazing. I mean, I hate Duke because I'm a North Carolina fan. So when even though I had Duke in the championship, when that shot went in, I screamed. That was.
Yeah.
My hatred for Duke is more than I hate the Cowboys. So,
Really?
I'll say that.
That's insane.
Yeah, I hate Duke. Yeah, they're one of my most hated. Duke, Yankees. Probably Duke and Yankees are probably 1 and 2.
That's your
I
2.
would say maybe the Mets.
I mean, growing up in Buffalo,
Yankees,
I don't think
Mets and Duke.
There's not a team that I hate more than the Patriots. The Patriots will always be my least favorite team.
Yeah.
And seeing them get stomped out in the fucking Super Bowl was chef's kiss, and I loved it. Because I've always hated the Patriots. They've always beat us, the Bills, twice a year, every year. And I was always low-key into the Giants, too, so seeing the Giants whoop their ass twice in the Super Bowl was money for me. I always wanted the Bills to be able to win. And then the Bills finally win the division when Brady leaves, even though that seems to be over now, which sucks. But I hate the Patriots. That's probably the Chiefs are getting up there, though, especially as a Bills, because they keep fucking my fucking shit up. They keep stopping Joshy from, even though, it was the Broncos that took us out this year. I hate the Chiefs. The Patriots and the Chiefs, the two teams that are like universally hated, I've always hated. Which I liked the Chiefs back in the day, especially because Joe Montana played there. I didn't mind the Matt Castle years because he blew, so he was never a non-factor.
Yeah,
he was. think our
And then
connection.
you
went-
have can you hear? You
Seems to be a bit of a.
you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Delay.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Who do you think? Who's gonna win the UConn Illinois game? Since you kind of already picked the Michigan, who do you think will face Michigan in the national championship?
Illinois.
And then I'll give my pick.
I think Illinois is getting past UConn.
Illinois?
I really do. Yeah.
So you have Illinois. Okay. I think UConn. I guess I'll go up. I actually have the opposite. So I have UConn, Arizona. So UConn, Arizona national championship. I have Arizona winning. You have Michigan in this bracket. This was just. I do think Arizona is gonna prevail, but I wouldn't be surprised if Michigan won. So
That's solid. And yeah, I'm going the other way. Because I think it's good. I really think Michigan's going to win this thing, and I see them playing Illinois in the finals. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. I could see either. I could see either matchup, and it should be a good Final Four. I think both games are going to be good. I hope no blowouts because boring until the Duke game.
Yeah.
Hopefully no blowouts this weekend. Hopefully 2 good games, and then national championship. It's a great game. And
yeah, I mean these are the two to watch. This is the most. Final Four is my favorite time. I really enjoy the Final Four.
Exactly.
So I'm excited for it.
And normally this would be weekend, which is crazy, right? WrestleMania is late this year.
Yeah,
and it is early this year. So WrestleMania used to be on Final Four weekend. I remember the last couple of years. Because Easter used to be like the third Sunday of the month, April. But the first Sunday of April this year. Yeah, WrestleMania is really late this year. I think this is the latest they ever had it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean it needed the build up though, so.
Yeah, but we'll get into more of that Friday, so we'll save that for Friday.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, it's weird talking to you about stuff other than wrestling.
I know, right? Let's get into the NBA. Since the NBA playoff, I know you're an NBA fan too.
Yeah, our Sixers are doing shit right now.
I know. They might play in the play-ins. Let's see. Bring up the division standings. I know there's some other news that in the NBA, but the Bulls and Jaden Ivory, but if you don't want to, I mean, you have any thoughts on that?
Thoughts on what?
The whole Jaden Ivory situation.
It's pretty crazy.
I know it's really. I mean, I can see why the Bulls did it, and it wasn't because of his religion. I think it's mainly because what the video he put out. So sometimes you just have to keep your things to yourself, especially when you're in the profession like NBA.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I mean, he has the right to his opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, we're two guys on a podcast giving our opinions about stuff, but I mean, I miss when sports was just about sports. I miss when it was just we would talk about
Exactly.
sport. It would be now it's you got to comment on everything, and I think that just the nature of the beast now is like with celebrities and athletes, they all think they need to comment on everything, and I'm not saying anything good or bad or about his take and him. I think it sucks. It's weird social media the way it affects your professional life. It is weird. And I think a lot of people think that it won't.
And
But
he has the right to his opinion.
But I see both sides of it. But I also, to me as a company, I do
too. I do too.
I would probably keep on to him if I was, running the Bulls. But especially because he's damn good. but I also I get it, and I get the PR shit, but I would just tell him, hey, quit being a fucking idiot. But also, it's weird. I don't promote athletes and entertainers and stuff to give all of their personal views. I don't give all of my personal views. I'd rather just talk about the sports or talk about the entertainment, and so that stuff comes with what it comes with. But I remember it's not like people don't know that it doesn't affect your professional life, because people, when Facebook first came out, I remember when I was a kid, people were first saying, watch what you say on there, because I got a job interview or something that could always come up, like watch what you, that's always been a thing. So before Twitter and before, like that was always a thing, like be careful what you put on MySpace. So it's not like people don't know not to say shit that could get them in trouble, but it is what it is, I guess.
Exactly.
The Bulls aren't exactly the greatest team either, but they're a storied team.
Oh yeah,
and I watched them beat the shit. Their bench beat the shit out of our bench last year when I went, and that was.
Oh yeah,
crazy.
I remember that.
I was hoping to see Lonzo.
Are you? Yeah, he's not in the Bulls anymore. So
no.
Yeah, I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. Pretty much the same as mine. I guess it is what it is. I think you should have just not put the video out, and you'd probably still be on the team. But it's a life lesson.
I'll tell you what, man. When the hell did the Pistons get so good?
Yeah,
like
I know.
I've been watching lately,
I
and
remember,
this Pistons team just seems like a different beast.
Oh yeah, they have really Cade Cunningham is good. He's a beast. They have, ironically, they have Tobias Harris, who's actually doing pretty good in Detroit again. He was with Pistons before. They have some good players. The center, Durant. What's his name? I said his name wrong. Durant, I think.
Yeah.
They have a good team. And I'm trying to think. Let's see. Let's look at the division. Because I think we have. Why did I keep bringing this up? Well,
they got old Tobias Harris, which I'm a big fan of.
Yep.
But Cade Cunningham,
he's a beast. If it wasn't for SGA, I would say he should be MVP.
Yeah.
But we all know SGA is going to win the MVP. So here's the standings. Currently, Pistons are. Oh yeah. Currently, Detroit is in first. Boston second. How about Boston doing what they did without Tatum, and then Tatum comes back and he's playing like a beast.
Jason Tatum.
I don't know what his stats are, but he looked good in the first couple of games.
He has been one of the best in the league for a while.
Oh yeah, Jason Tatum. I hate the Celtics, but I actually do appreciate Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum is a beast. He's a good player. And when he went down last year, I felt really bad for him because he is a really good young player.
I'm not a huge Celtic guy myself, but it can't be denied that some of the best players in the NBA have graced that team ever, like of all time.
Yeah.
Like they just have such a
Celtics
story.
and Lakers.
I remember those years where they had like fucking Rondo and Garnett and just all these fucking beasts.
Garnett.
Ray Allen. They just had Ray Allen in his corner,
KG,
please.
Ray Allen.
Like they just had such a fucking bomb ass
Yeah.
team for the longest time. And they're kind of back and they're kind of killing it right now. Not even kind of, they are killing it. They're second in the Eastern Conference. They've won fucking 50 games.
Second. Yep, exactly. And most of them were without Tatum.
Yeah.
And Jaylen Brown. We can't forget about Jaylen Brown, who's a beast. Everybody talks about Tatum, but Jaylen Brown, if it wasn't for SGA, he's an MVP discussion too. And then you got the Knicks, who were 2.5 games back from second. Then Cleveland, and then Atlanta. Atlanta's won like 16 out of 18 games, including beating us. I think no, they didn't beat us. And then Toronto. Are a game out. They are 1 game out from the sixth spot, which is the to avoid the play-in. So if the playoffs start today, the Sixers would play the Magic in the play-in game at home.
Yeah,
and they're only 1 game ahead of the Magic for home court in that playoff game, which is critical. And then you got the Heat, who beat us, and then the Hornets. How about the Charlotte Hornets and what they're doing? The Charlotte Hornets have been the surprise team this year. Yeah. Teams are eliminated. The Pacers are eliminated. Washington, Chicago, and Milwaukee are all eliminated. So it's all about the seedings right now. So the Sixers can get to 6th place, or they can fall down to. They could even fall down to 9, or even 10. So the last 2 weeks, there's only 7 games left. In the West, of course, you got the Thunder. I've become a big fan of San Antonio because I love Wembley. So other than the Sixers, I've been becoming not necessarily a Spurs fan, but I'm rooting for them.
I mean, the Spurs and the Spurs and OKC are both, and no offense to the Eastern Conference, but the Spurs and OKC are the 2 best teams in basketball right now. They're both fucking tearing shit up. The Thunder, oh my god! But the San Antonio is on a huge run, and they're kicking heavy duty ass. And I'm never been a big Spurs guy myself. My 2 favorite teams are in the trenches right now because I mean, being in PA and being in Philly, I do enjoy the Sixers, and I like going to the Sixers games. But since I was a kid, Buffalo didn't have a team when they had already in LA under the Clippers. So my team was always the Heat. I love Miami Heat.
Yep.
Because when I was a kid,
that.
Shaq was on there, and Shaq and D Wade, and I'm like, all right, I love the Heat. So I was always a Heat guy, and that's why I'm not a big Celtic guy because I feel like that rivalry kind of runs deep. But I've always, and the Heat suck right now. The Heat are fucking trash right now.
Yeah.
And I love me,
But they beat Sixers.
Yeah. Yeah, they're doing worse than the Sixers, for God's sakes. So they're 9th in the Eastern Conference. They're not sniffing the playoffs. They're a bad team.
Yeah, so you can see these standings, right? The 10 are key because any of these teams can fall back to 10, which is the playing game. So the playing game is 7 versus 8. Yeah, 7 versus 8 and 9 versus 10. And the winner of 7 versus 8 gets the 7th seed, and the loser gets to play the winner in 10 in
There you
the
go.
second playing game. So the sisters could the best they can do is 6 and avoid the pin, or the worst they can do is 10 and get no home court in the plan. So next 8 games in the next 2 weeks are key for the sisters. And Embiid has to stay healthy, or the sisters are in deep shit.
And I love that guy. He's one of my favorite players currently. I'd always got his ups and his downs, and he doesn't always play a lot, and he gets hurt and shit. But getting to see Embiid play is one of the great rewards I've gotten as a sports fan live. Like I've gotten to see a lot of live sports.
Nice.
That seeing Embiid play live is awesome, and he is the man. And the way he the psychology is the crazy part. There's some guys that you got great athletes, you got great players. The IQ on him is insane. Just the court IQ and just the way he maneuvers the ball. He's a great passer. Like he's so good at so many little things. It's fucking insane to see him do what he does. It's just the problem is we need to keep him on the court so he can keep doing what he does, because he's a difference maker and he's the best player on the team by far. You know, there's other guys on this team that I like, but Embiid just fucking he is there, and then everybody else is here on the Sixers.
Yeah. I admit I've shit on Embiid a lot.
I know.
I get frustrated because he doesn't play a lot, and it's not his fault. I know, and I feel bad, but I do get frustrated with him sometimes because sometimes he doesn't show up in games. But that's part of being a fan. You get frustrated with your favorite players too. So.
Yeah, I mean, you can hate a guy and still acknowledge him.
Exactly.
That's Biggie.
Massey's my favorite player. I like BJ.
I hate Tom Brady and I hate Pat Mahomes, but both of them can play God's good game of football. So
exactly. I'm a big fan of BJ and Max. Those who are the future of this team. Hopefully, neither one gets traded.
They're both beasts too, and I'll tell you what. Bitter. A guy that doesn't get his due, Andre Drummond.
Yeah.
He doesn't get his
bench
due.
Guy. He came in. Yep, exactly. He came in for and played those games. And
would you like to see a bigger guy play a little more defense? Yeah. Yeah, you would. But he really does. He can be a difference maker. And the home opener that I went to this year, he was a difference maker in that game, and he's the reason we beat LaMelo Ball and those Hornets. Because boy, LaMelo was playing, and he's another one. That kid's a beast. And I know he wants to leave. He didn't leave yet, right?
He is.
He didn't leave Charlotte.
LaMelo, no.
Because I know he was thinking about it or whatever.
I don't know if he's going to leave now, because Charlotte's actually pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty damn good in their own right.
They have a good young team. They have a sharpshooter in what's his name? He's a beast. LaMelo Ball is a beast. Brandon Miller is a beast.
They're not going to do anything this year, but in the next couple of years.
No. Yeah.
But LaMelo Ball, he does ball. He is a beast. But yeah, Andre Drummond, a guy that doesn't get his due and a damn good player. Underrated.
Yeah, he's a veteran. He gets rebounds. He doesn't complain. He plays when he needs to. When he plays, and if this, I'm not a Nick Nurse fan. So if the sisters don't go far, which honestly I don't expect them, but if they did, then I'll be happy. But I think next year we could be looking at a new coach and a new GM on this team. Time to move on from especially Daryl Morey. I think he's kind of ruined this team, in my opinion. And Nick Nurse, I wasn't a big fan of the hire in the first place, though. I just think this team needs a different regime.
Yeah, they probably do.
I'm not. I hope they can trade Paul George because I don't like Paul George. I didn't like the signing when they signed him, but
I've never been a
he's another. Yeah. I think Paul George. Last year, all he cared about was his, ironically, podcast, and he got the nickname Podcast P. So, get back to
the one SmackDown I was
at. OKC is leading the.
The one SmackDown I was at, they had Paul George in the audience, and he got booed out of the fucking building. It was hilarious.
Oh yeah, you told me that.
It was so funny. They panned to him, and everyone just. Bah!
That was that. Was that early this year or was that last year?
That was last year. It was the last. It was one of the last events under the Wells Fargo name before they changed. Because now it's
Xfinity.
Yeah.
Yep. I think I texted you or Doug in the middle of that game, in the middle of SmackDown, and said, "Are they booing my Paul George?" And they did, yeah.
Yeah, they booed the shit out of him.
I hope he gets traded. I think that was after all the controversy about his podcast, and he wasn't playing and then he was still being on his podcast, and allegedly he was injured and all that. So I think that's why a lot of people booed him.
Yeah,
but
the
NBA playoffs is going to be good.
Oh yeah. I'm excited for it. We got to talk about a little hockey because who would have thought, even though it's close, my Sabres, the Buffalo, #1, baby. They're having some tough losses, but right now they're #1 in the Eastern Conference. But they are having some tough losses late in the season now.
Standing. If you had to pick, I'll ask you this question for the last question for the NBA. If you had to pick now, who do you think wins the championship?
I'm going Thunder.
I think we'll do an NBA playoff preview in a couple weeks. So
I'm down.
Yeah, and we'll give our predictions and we'll do it. I think I'm gonna do an NHL. Sean and Dave, if you want to join too, if you and Doug want to join.
Those guys really see. I'm a passing hockey fan. I'm not even really. I like it, but there's other sports I'm watching.
Yeah, I'm the same way as you. Yeah,
Sean's really knowledgeable.
It's baseball, soccer, basketball, football, and then hockey is last for me.
Yeah,
I do enjoy hockey, but I can't get into it in the regular season.
Yeah, I'm with you. But USA versus Canada was a hell of a game to watch. I enjoyed that. That was good.
Yeah, I'm happy both men's and women's won. That was a great honor for our country. I just wish the
game was insane
U.S.
too.
team
Super
for baseball. I know. I think they were the same score, 3-2. It's crazy.
Crazy games. Yeah.
The U.S. baseball team won against Venezuela, but it's ironic ironically, we lost to Venezuela in championship in the World Baseball Classic. But good for Venezuela. They were a good team. So, but here's the standing. So Buffalo is currently currently tied with Carolina for the number 1 seed, but they played one more game more than them. So I don't know what the tiebreaker is. But yeah, Buffalo is second. They can get number 1. Tampa Bay, I don't know. It's just I don't know how this be. Oh, wild card. No, do that one. So Buffalo leads their division, and then Carolina,
the Hurricanes,
and then Boston and Columbus. Yep. Boston and Columbus are the wild card teams, and then you got Ottawa, Detroit, and my team, the Flyers, are still in it. They're tied. There's a 3-way tie. No, they're 3-way tie for I guess the spot behind Columbus.
Yeah, that's the tightest division. That division's pretty crazy.
Yeah. The Flyers. Wait. Yeah. So the Flyers, Red Wings, and Ottawa still can pass the Jackets for the second wild card team. So if the Flyers get in, there's a possibility we could have Buffalo versus Philadelphia in the first round.
Yeah.
Here, I'm going to turn my light on.
Who would have thought the Oregon Ducks would be playing crazy?
The Ducks?
Yeah.
I know. So Colorado and Dallas.
The Oregon Ducks. the Anaheim Ducks. My fucking. No,
it's okay.
Yeah, I was in the college mindset.
Yeah, is it? No, I got you. Anaheim, and then Edmonton, and then Vegas. Those are the 6. And then the wild card team for the West is Utah. The team that came in to the league last year, and Nashville. And then you got teams behind them: LA, San Jose, and the Jets. And then the other team, Seattle. Yeah. So there's some good races in both leagues. We're going to come down to the wires. 2 more weeks left in the NBA and NHL season. The NHL, I think they both start at the same time. Let me see.
Similar, yeah.
Playoffs start. When is the NBA? In tournament?
I remember in high school, those were the wintertime sports. It was wrestling, basketball, and hockey.
Yep. And then baseball is the spring, and baseball and track are the spring, right?
Yeah.
In high school?
And then,
yeah.
And then football is summertime.
Yep. And you played football and wrestling?
Yeah. You almost said track? No, I didn't do track.
I know my brother's best friend did track. He was a good track.
Yeah, those guys were fucking. That's a legitimate sport. Those guys are legitimate athletes. Yeah. They are badass.
Oh yeah,
I've seen the track and field do crazy shit.
Yeah, they can run, and you think it's easy? No, you have to train yourself, and your body has to, because you really have to train yourself, and that's a hard sport to train for, because you really have to have a lot of endurance.
Yeah, I could never. I was always, I'm going to do a sport where I can benefit from being a big guy a little bit, like wrestling or football on the line. Yeah. But and I love basketball. I played basketball every day with my friends, but there was no way I was going to make the basketball team.
Yeah, I played basketball with my friends too here in the neighborhood. I used to ride my bike to one of my friend's house like night. I was like, he was a grade behind me, but I used to go to his house to play basketball. We used to play basketball all the time.
Those were the days, right?
Those were the
That's
days
so,
when we were kids.
it was so much
When we
fun. Just every day, me and my we'd just be hanging on Bell. You want to go ball? And we'd just go find. We had numerous hoops and stuff to play at, and numerous little courts to play at, and it was those were the funnest times.
Yeah, my brother did that same thing with his friends. I think he would play more. He would play basketball more than he was more played basketball more than I did. So he actually did play basketball.
And it's crazy because the greatest people that played back then on the pickup games never actually played on the team. The guys that were always the best at fucking the pick, and they would kill it. They never actually like tried out for that. They would do other shit or whatever. They just like, oh, I just play for fun. And they were always like, and then it was like a bunch of random dudes on the team. And some of those guys could go too, but you know, it was always like I would be like, dude, this guy needs to be on the fucking for the school, and they just never did it.
And there's a lot of basketball players from New York too.
Yeah,
especially the city, especially Brooklyn and like the Bronx.
Everybody grows up wanting to play for the Knicks.
Yeah,
the Knicks is a storied franchise, and they're another team that hasn't been good in a long time, but they're a storied franchise.
Yep, and they're doing good. And they have a chance to get to the championship this year too. They're third, but they still have a chance. They almost got there last year, but they ran to Indiana.
Yeah, the Knicks don't suck. The Knicks don't suck in a long. When I said they haven't been good in a long time, that's not necessarily accurate. But they've just had a lot of ups and downs.
Oh yeah, it's the team that sucks in New York, the Rangers.
Because they're actually the Knicks are having a damn good year.
The Florida Panthers might not have a chance to get. Yeah, the Florida Panthers have had a bad year, and they're not going to have a chance for repeat. That sucks.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Any NFL stuff? I'm happy about the Bills getting DJ Moore. I think that'll be good for Josh Allen, a new target.
Oh yeah, I was telling Doug that when it happened, that was a good trade.
Because I was one of the guys that was completely. I was completely against the McDermott fire. I was even though like I get it, but if you're gonna fire him, like. That's when they let Hardball go to the Giants. There was a lot of good coaches this offseason to go with. And no offense to the offensive coordinator, and I'm willing to give him a shot, and I'm excited for it. But it feels like there was a lot of exciting options to go with instead of just, promoting the OC. But I like that style of a workplace too.
Yeah. But that must have felt.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know. What were you going to say?
No, I was just saying that, I agree. I like having, like I'm in the offensive, and if I do good, I can get promoted to head coach. I like that style of thinking instead of just always bringing somebody new in. But sometimes it's better, like, just to, like, let's shake it up completely. Even though, like, I get it, Josh is used to the system, and if Josh wants to, like, there's a lot of factors that goes into it. But like Harbaugh was available, Mike Tomlin was available. There was a lot of people that were in the race that could have been, the Bills head coach. And I don't know if those guys even interviewed, but there was a lot of coaches this year that were looking for jobs that it would have been exciting for the Bills to shake it up a bit.
I think John Harbaugh was always going to the Giants. I think that was his.
Oh, and as a low-key Giants fan, I love the move. I think the Dayball firing was a bit too soon. I would have given him one more year. Give him till Jackson Dart's second year. Like, give him one more year with Dart. Let's see how that develops, and then go from there. Because he just had a pretty good season, a couple of years ago.
And he's a good quarterback developer.
Yeah. Like, he got Daniel Jones to be kind of good. And then, Jones proved it on the Colts until he got hurt. which that was a huge, disaster this year. Poor Colts fans, because for a while the Colts was like one of the better teams in football, and then Daniel Jones gets hurt, and who would have thought that would be the sinking of the ship? That's fucking insane to think that Daniel Jones is the difference maker in a playoff season, but he kind of was.
The Colts were the best team in the NFL for like 10 weeks.
Yeah. And listen, nobody loves Phillip Rivers more than I do, but that was insane to bring in fucking 45-year-old Phillip Rivers and let's turn this bitch around. That's crazy. I loved it, but it was insane.
That tells you how desperate they were to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
They bring in somebody that off the street.
But
I think he was coaching his high school team.
Yeah, he was a high school coach for his kid. And I think he didn't play terrible. He wasn't going to get him to the dance, obviously. His time has passed. But for an older guy just walking in there, strapping it on after, especially it's obvious he gained some weight. He did pretty good. I thought he hung in there okay. It wasn't going to be the difference maker that they needed, though. But I like the idea of Phillip Rivers has always been a great regular season quarterback. So I didn't hate that idea. And I like him. He's hilarious.
You want to talk some UFC before we?
Yeah, sure.
AEW is going to start in half an hour, so we can go into almost.
Yeah, well, I'm down to go an hour and split.
Yeah.
But the UFC, Money Monkey. I always fuck his name up, but he's coming up. I'm excited for it. And like I said,
I missed the card on Saturday. Who won? Is he lose?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Izzy got dog.
I have to go back and watch it. Isn't it amazing how far Izzy has come down?
Yeah, I mean, everybody gets old, though. Everybody enters a prime and then exits it. And it just sucks that, him and Usman, you have to see it on the world stage. But let's not forget, when this shit started getting really hot, yes, McGregor made the sport, really, he got the sport where it needed to be to where it's kind of mainstream now. But those guys, when it became mainstream, and then that pandemic era and coming out of it, those were the guys. Usman and Izzy were the two best the UFC had to offer. And, now they're out of that, and it's not their time anymore. And it's funny. It makes me think of that clip with Tyron Woodley and his mom after Usman beat him for the championship, when Usman beat the shit out of him and just wrestle-fucked him to death. And Usman, backstage, you get Mama Woodley because his mom's there, and she's just the sweetest thing ever, and she's awesome, and she seems so badass, and she hugs her son, and she's like, it was a good fight. It was a good fight. Go back to the drawing board. But then Usman comes over, and she gives him a hug, and she says, "Don't worry, it's not his time anymore. It's your time. It was your time. So now be ready because people are gonna come for you." And she was right. And then it was Usman's time for the next few years, and now it's not anymore. That's how the game kind of works.
Yep.
And, in football and some other sports, it's different because it can be Tom Brady's time for a long fucking time because he's able to, he's not getting the shit beat out of him like that. Fighting's a whole different animal.
Exactly.
He is getting beat up, and Tom's taken a lot of hits throughout the years. Don't get me wrong. But those guys that's a coliseum. You're going in, it's the only sport. I think Chael Sonnen said it one time, but he's completely right. It's the only sport where you don't get better with repetition. You don't get better. You get a little worse every time you fight because you're more beat up. And you got yes, you can train and get better that way, but every time you get in a serious, in a UFC fight, after that, you're not really, yes, you can have experience and you gain some, and I've never been in there, so I'm just talking as a fan. But it seems like it takes a little bit out of you every time. It's not like football to where you get a few games and maybe you get hot. We have had comebacks in fights that have proved that wrong, though. Oliveira's one, who's lost a lot in the beginning and then became the man.
Yep. And now he's champion again. Yeah, Alex. That's a Volkanovski. I was thinking something.
Yeah, Oliveira is not champion, but he beat up Max pretty good. Everybody hated that fight.
Oh, yeah.
I thought, what do you want the guy to do? I was scared. I didn't put money on it because I thought that Oliveira was going to try to stand and bang with it because Oliveira is a crazy sumbitch. So I thought Oliveira was going to try to fucking, all right, let's strike it out with Max Holloway. And I was like, fuck that. I'm not like Max could very well knock his ass out like Tapura did. So, and don't get me wrong, Oliveira can box. He can strike with the best of them, but I was a little worried if he tried to get in a striking fight. I thought the way to win that is to grapple fuck him. And that's what he did. And some people consider that boring, and that's fine. But if you have a specialty in a sport, sometimes you have to use that specialty. If that's what you can do, if you have something that the other guy doesn't have, and that's going to bring you the win, sometimes that's what it's got to be. It's not always going to be someone getting knocked out.
Exactly.
I love a KO as much as anybody.
I like both guys. Yeah. And I was sad that Max lost the way he did. It could have been a better fight, but Max, he kind of looked old. Did look old in that fight, and that's nothing against Max because everybody gets old as fighters, and Max is going to come back and probably fight a couple more. But
and that's the thing about Max. We thought he was old like 5 fights ago. We thought he was losing it, and then he fucking knocked Gaethje out, and we're like, "Oh my god, Max Holloway's still a beast." So he could always come back.
Everybody was saying he's back.
Yeah, I thought Gaethje was going to destroy him, and they knocked him the fuck out. So Max Holloway, never underestimate that dude. No. For sure. But I have a soft spot for Oliveira because when I was getting back into the sport, because as a kid, my big thing, especially being a wrestling fan and then Brock Lesnar get into it, I love Frank Mir. And I was big into those days, and I like Chuck Liddell and those guys. But getting back into it, Oliveira, to me, there's no better story than Do Bronx. Like, he took a lot of tough losses, and then he, like, really locked in. He fucking beats up Chandler. He beats up Poirier. Like, he beat up Gaethje. Like, he was the fucking man. Like, when he cut that promo in Brazil, and then his translator said, I am Charles Oliveira, and I'm the champion. Like, that was, like, he's the fucking man. When he went on that run, and then he lost to Islam, and it kind of got squashed. But he had a phenomenal, I forget what year it was, if it was 2022 or 2021. But one of those years, I think he won Fighter of the Year, and it was well-deserved because he had a great fucking year.
Yeah, there's some young beasts in this sport. I'm glad UFC did what they did, moved to Paramount. The streaming is fine right now. Sometimes it's lagging, but it comes with streaming, so. But I'm glad they did that because it was hard to pay for a pay-per-view every week? Not every week, but once a month or something. So, because we used to watch it together. We should watch it over one time and watch it. You'll see one of the big fights. But what big fight do we have coming up besides the? So you have a fight this weekend. Trying to look for a big fight.
What's that? Scroll up.
Scroll up.
Chimaev and Strickland's going to be great. That's going to be fucking big.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be big. That's May 8th. No, May 9th. This one's good.
Yeah, I like Madalena.
That's for the title, right?
Yeah.
What's this one? That's going to be good. That's this week.
Yeah, Yuri's a
I
beast.
feel like they have one every week, don't they? And Sterling. And remember when Sterling was this up and comer too, and then he lost.
Well, Sterling had got him.
What's his name?
He's one of the more kind of screwed over by the sport to where he's never been thought of in a great light because he's got so many slights on his like career, like weird, like because the way he won the belt with Peter Yan with the illegal knee. And so people were he didn't win by really beating the guy. He got hit with an illegal knee and he took the title that way. But also that knee was fucking vicious, and if he couldn't continue, I completely understand. So he does that, but then he goes on a bit of a run. He beats the shit out of Yan in the rematch. Like he crushed him. He was doing pretty good. The Dillashaw, but then you have another slight with the Dillashaw fight because Dillashaw goes there without a shoulder. Like Dillashaw came into that fight hurt. So beating him wasn't that impressive. And then he just kind of got known for that highlight reel moment of getting knocked out by Sugar Sean because Sugar Sean set up that combo so great and Sean O'Malley knocked him out. And that was kind of the end of it for him. And he's had fights since, and I believe he's came back. But, you know, that was as far as like a high profile. And he kind of got screwed because he took that fight for the pay-per-view points. And then I think he kind of got screwed over that with the way he was talking. Like, it didn't do the numbers that they thought it would do with Sean. So, I feel bad for that dude. But he's a beast wrestler.
You know, Malley. Oh, yeah. He's Jamaican wrestler. I like him.
Yeah.
Malley. O'Malley won the championship and then he lost. He get knocked out. He lost, and he's lost a couple fights.
O'Malley didn't get knocked out, but he got wrestle fucked by Merab.
Yeah, and then he hasn't been the same since. So,
no.
Who else is?
That was a rising star. Him more than Aljamain. Sean O'Malley was like, oh, this is the next McGregor that's going to lead us into the next shit. And then it kind of just flopped. Like he had that Sphere fight, and that's when Merab's beat him up wrestling-wise. And he just didn't – after that, the star kind of faded, which sucks because I like Sean.
Yeah, O'Malley. I've never been I'm not a big O'Malley fan. But I know he had a big following. I know.
Who's your top three fighters of all time? Top three
right now
of all time.
John Jones, Anderson Silva. I want to say George St. Pierre, but he retired too soon. Maybe I mean, I got to give credit to Jose Aldo. Maybe those three.
He's a beast. That's a great three. That is a great three.
Those three dominate the sport for years. Yeah.
Those are three that are in the GOAT conversation.
Yeah, especially Jose Aldo. And then he came back. He didn't retire. Everybody thought he was going to retire, and then he still had some left in him.
And he's one that got, and he had some good fights. He got screwed by the McGregor deal because he was kind of that knockout and the fact that it was so quick. People then instantly, because sometimes with fights, you forget about the legacy, which sucks. And there's a lot of people that help keep it alive, which is good. But you forget, like, just because he got knocked out, Jose Aldo, fucking even WEC or whatever, and even like in the UFC, that dude's a beast. You watch his old fights, he was one of the greatest of all time.
Him and Anderson Silva, people forget about those two, especially because everybody remembers Chris Weidman knocking out Anderson Silva, but Anderson Silva was a beast. Nobody could beat him. Nobody could beat him in that middleweight division until Chris Weidman did.
Yeah,
and then he beat him again, and he broke his leg, and that was.
Everybody loses except for John. Everybody loses. I mean, GSP is another one that you could consider the best of all time, but then you have Matt Serra.
Yep.
And Matt Serra,
Yep.
That
GSP barely lost still. I always have a soft spot for BJ Penn. So BJ Penn is one of my favorites.
Well, BJ lost a lot. BJ's
Yeah.
last fucking fights were all losses.
He should have retired when he retired, like officially. But he just kept coming back for the paycheck, I guess. There's sometimes the fighter just can't leave because they love it so much. And
Yeah.
I understand that. I understand that totally.
Well, yeah, and it's the same thing with any sport and any, like they say it with wrestling, but it's got to be the same for football and everything, especially for like quarterbacks and shit. Like that high of fucking, especially at its max, like 80,000 people, 30,000 people, all fucking wanting to see you kick ass. That's got to be once you get that, I'm sure you want to keep getting it. So
yeah,
it's fair.
And look at Michael Jordan. He came back to the Wizards.
Yeah,
for 2 years.
How'd that go?
It didn't go well.
Yeah,
but
it was fun. Fun seeing him in another jersey, though.
Yeah, it was. His last game was in Philadelphia. His last.
Oh, that's crazy.
Game, yeah, there's a video out there. I'll send it to you. Where he comes in the game and the Philadelphia crowd gives him, for all the shit people give Philadelphia fans. Philadelphia fans do respect players outside of Philadelphia.
Yeah,
I'm not just saying that because I'm a Philadelphia guy, but we do get a lot of shit, and rightfully so. I'm not saying we don't deserve it, but we also honor great players. It's the same thing. Like it's the same. That's the thing with East Coast fans. We might be shit fans sometimes, but we also respect the players that we see. So Philadelphia and New York fans are the same, in my opinion.
They're very close.
They're like brothers.
Yeah, we give each other a lot of shit, though.
Yeah, we're like rivalry brothers.
Yeah, especially when you're talking like Giants, Eagles, and shit like that. Like,
back in the day. I hated the Giants more than the Cowboys.
Well, and I'm sure every Giants fan on planet Earth, if you just say the name Deshaun Jackson, I don't know why I went to Watson with Deshaun, but if you say the name Deshaun Jackson, Giants fans start fucking crawling in their skin and fucking they were like that was fucking insane. That's like Tom Coughlin's about to fucking start breaking shit. That feud kind of runs deep. It's not so heavy anymore because the Eagles are great and the Giants suck. So it's not really much.
Hey, it should come back now that you have John Harbaugh, who used to be the special teams coach for the Eagles back in the day. So rivalry could be back.
We'll see. And
and Jackson Dart is the real deal, which I think he is.
I like the kid. He's just got to stop getting concussions. Stop running into defenders. Get out of bounds. Listen to John Gruden. Yeah. I know you're not a fan.
You got a beast running back. Hopefully he can stay healthy himself. So, yeah, I think the rivalry is still there because we stole your running back. Sorry to bring that up.
Well, and it came back in that fucking, was it a divisional round a couple years ago when you guys made your first, not your first, your first Super Bowl run with Jalen where you beat the hell out of the Giants? Because Daniel Jones, that's when he had a great year with the Giants, and Saquon was still there, and the Eagles beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah, and then was that Saquon's last year?
Yeah, and then they get rid of Saquon. They say on camera how it would make them sick if he played for the Eagles. He goes and plays for the Eagles and wins the fucking Super Bowl. Giants fans have had a lot to bitch about the last few years.
Oh no, you're fine. I understand that. We're in the same boat because sometimes.
Well, and at the end of the day, I love the Bills, and I have respect for the Giants too. My love of the Giants as a kid always came for Eli Manning because he's my favorite player to ever play the game. I love Eli. I love everything he stands for. I love that he's a fucking looks like a doof, but he's like can beat the greatest of all time twice. Like that dude's just a different breed. So.
I had a soft spot for the Denver Broncos because I like John Elway. So,
And I agree with the whole snub thing. Eli should be in the Hall of Fame very soon.
yeah, he should. I agree with that. He won 2 Super Bowls against Tom Brady.
Against the guys that nobody could beat. He beat them twice.
Eli Manning and Nick Foles are the only 2 quarterbacks that beat Tom
The
Brady.
2 goofiest looking motherfuckers on planet Earth. The 2 guys that look like the Kurt Warner, like they could be a bag boy in a fucking. They're just 2 of the goofiest dudes, and they're the guys that kick Tom Brady's ass. I love it so much.
Yep.
I watched all 3 of those games live and was ecstatic for all 3 of them. Listen, me and the Eagles have a complicated history, but I was a fucking Eagles fan that night. And seeing fucking Nick Foles get the job done and do the Philly special and all that shit, that was one of the greatest games I've ever seen in my life.
Yep. And I think they did 30.
Well, and with the Giants games, you can argue Brady didn't really have – he played good in those games, but he didn't play like Brady. In the Eagles game, he played like Brady. He was kicking ass. Brady had a damn good game in that Super Bowl. It was looking like Brady was going to come back and do the same thing he did with the fucking Falcons and beat you. And like it was looking like Brady was fucking doing something, but the Eagles just thrived, man. That was a great game.
Yep. Yeah, it was. And I was watching at my cousin's house live, and when they finally won, I was in disbelief. Like,
well, I almost shit my pants because I remember hearing fucking fireworks go off, right? And like, I'm in the suburbs. I'm not even in the city. I'm in the fucking suburbs, and I hear fucking, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yep.
And there's fucking, and people are, and I hear people celebrating outside and stuff, and it's like, well, fuck yeah, good for Philly.
Yep. We went to Dick when Dick was by the mall before they moved where near Target. I went there, and there was a line already when we went there. People were already buying their gear, and it was sold out that night, I think. So those Dick's, and I don't know, I forget if Modell's was still around, but Dick's sporting goods, that place was packed. Like, wow. And then Dick's, I mean, it's still Dick's, but I think it's like Dick's discount store in the mall.
Yeah.
It's amazing how that mall. I know when did you move here? You moved here 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Has it been 10 years?
Yeah. Or, no.
That mall,
yeah, 2016. Holy shit, yeah.
Wow, 10 years.
Yep. It make me feel old.
Hey, I feel old. I'm 40. Doug's going to be 40 this month. Can you believe that?
Yeah, we're all getting old, man. Our back's creaking more and more every year. But all right, you want to go home on this?
Yeah. I'll ask you off the air, but I was going to ask you about the Montgomery Mall, but I'll ask you off the air.
Okay.
So Friday night we'll be talking something like this, but we'll be talking all wrestling. AEW, WWE, WrestleMania is coming up in 3 weeks?
Yeah.
It's weird to say 3 weeks, but I feel like it should be this week. But
yeah.
AEW's next week, Dynasty. We're gonna go home shows next week. So there's a lot of wrestling that we're gonna talk about. 2 big pay-per-views coming up, 3 big world title matches in Kenny Omega versus MJF for the AEW World Title, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Title, and then, of course, our boy Cody defending the title against Randy Orton. In that storyline, we'll get into that on Friday night. I think you and me both have a lot to say about that.
Yeah, we do. I'm excited.
Yeah. Yep. So for MoneyE and Dizzle, aka Daniel, we'll see you and later, everybody.
Yeah, I'd love to come back. Have me come back.
Of course. Maybe we'll do this every Wednesday.
Hey, man, I'm down. We'll make something happen.
Okay. Later.
Later.